God bless it. Never a dull moment. Never a dull. Always some shit's got to happen at the last damn minute. I don't understand what the hell's going on. Just aggravates the shit out of me. Everything should stay signed in. I don't know why you click to go live and then it says you're not signed into Facebook. You're not signed into this. You're not. Oh, for Christ's sake. Never a damn dull moment around here. And of course now everything is late. You get everything set up, and then you click live, and it says, you're not signed into Facebook. On Prism, it says, when you sign in to YouTube and Facebook, you have a button you click underneath, a little box. Remain signed in until signing out. And click both boxes. That means I shouldn't have this problem. I go to hit start and it don't start because it tells me I'm not signed in. Now, before I hit start, it said online with YouTube, online with Facebook. That means I should have been signed in. No. I hit start, it blows everything away. So, evidently no notifications have gone out. So I'm going to give it some time since we started late. If nobody shows up by like 7:08, we'll do a start. I don't know why it does that. Every now and then it tells me I'm not signed in with Facebook. I'm not signed in with YouTube. But it waits until you go to airtime. Hey, look who's here. When are you going to get that Camaro out so I can take it for a drive? I've been looking up the street going, where's the Camaro? You know I want to take it for a ride. Like, you know, get on 130th, take it up to 150th, make the turn, get back on 150th, come back down to 130th. Just to kind of blow the cobwebs out. I gotta stop. Maybe over the weekend. I gotta stop over and have a little chat. Oh, wonderful. See, that's part of the problem with older vehicles. You know, if you don't drive them at least weekly, when you got a leak, you definitely don't want to put any garbage in the tank. If anything, pull the radiator and get it pressure tested. It's nothing important. It can be the next weekend. I just got to run a couple of things past you, but it's nothing that, you know, is pressing. Just a few ideas I've got about something. All right, if I don't forget, yeah. What do you say? It's nothing pressing. I don't even know if I'm looking at buying something. I'm not even sure if the guy is gonna sell. But I know he's going to junk some stuff. And I'm trying to stop him from junking until I can talk to him. He's got several vehicles he's got to get rid of. Put it this way, they're located at two different places, and I'm trying to figure out where the second place is because I want to see what vehicles are in at the other house. Maybe there's something better over there than what is over here. From what I hear, at least everything he's got are manual transmissions. That's what, you know me. I'd save every manual on the planet right now. No Cadillacs. No, he wasn't into that stuff. Although I'll tell you what, the other day I saw, and I know it wasn't my old Eldorado, it even had the goddamn Continental wheel on the back of it. An 85 white diesel on top of it, but it wasn't mine. I pulled in a parking lot and I was like, holy shit, my old Eldorado. I waited until the guy came out and I said, because I didn't want to prowl around the car. I said, can I look around the car? I said, it looks like one I sold years ago. He said, well, how many years ago? I said, back in the 90s. He said, go ahead, take a look. And when I looked real close, it wasn't mine. I don't know what he's got at his second house, Tim. That's what I'm trying to find out. What he's got over here, he's got a 90-something Porsche 924, but it's sad. But he's got a pretty decent looking VW Passat that I'd like to get my hands on. No, I lost the damn VIN number. I had a, you know me, I keep copies of everything. The folder that had the copy of the title and everything in it, you know, I've moved so many fucking times. And the folder got lost. So, nah, I don't have the VIN from my old Eldo. What, you know what happened? All right, Tim, I'll get in touch with you. We'll connect. As I go to start, Kathy, as a matter of fact, let me start. From the WDWL TV multiplex, and with great anticipation, we bring you the pride of the station, the grumpy old man, and oh, the grumpy vulture. Would you like to take a bow? All right, take a bow. Take a bow. Be nice. Be nice. Oh, good. You kept the banner up this time. Okay. Back in the corner. Mr. Disco Bar here. Take a... get this out of the way. Oh, God. I got cigarette ashes on my new chair. God damn it. Okay. No. I get set to start, okay? I check up in the corner and it says online, Facebook, online, YouTube. I hit start. It shuts me down and tells me I'm not signed in to Facebook. Now, on Prism, you enter what platforms that you want to be on, and it says, if you click the box under each platform, remain signed in. I don't know why tonight, all of a sudden, it shut me right down. I had to do everything, type in my intro, all that shit. Where's the Goodyear Theater? So that's what happened, Kathy. I had to... So I didn't actually get on air until like 7:06, 7:07. So it's always some shit. Always some shit. Yeah, I hit start, and next thing you know, a big block comes up and goes, you are not signed into Facebook. I should have been able to start on YouTube. It wouldn't start. So I had to sign into Facebook. Then I had to do all the presets in order to start. Yeah, it's all you know, I'm really seriously considering shit canning Prism and just going back to strictly broadcasting on YouTube. It isn't worth the headaches. It is not worth the headaches. It's always some crap. Yeah, it's nice to be on two platforms, but I don't know. I'm going to have a, here, get this. I'm going to have a long talk with my buddy's grandson and see if possibly he can walk me through maybe Streamlab or Restream, EVMux, because, you know, it would be nice to be able to show videos like normal YouTubers do. It would be nice to bring on live guests. I can't do any of that shit. I probably could, but I can't figure it out. So I might just end up going back to what works. It worked for almost 3 years. And then, you know, YouTube says, oh, you need a streaming platform. It didn't gain me anything, really. The only thing is, anybody that would want to be in the chat would have to be on YouTube. Not dual like tonight. You know, I've got 2 different platforms people can chat to me on. So, crock of bullshit. So how you doing tonight, Kathy? It was good seeing Jenny pop in last night just to say I'm doing okay. I'm, you know, got shit going. At least it put my mind at ease. And I think once, you know, I told her, just pop in. You don't have to stay. I think everybody feels obligated that they got to come on for the whole time. No. Just let me know you're doing okay. That's all. How's the patient doing after she pushed herself a little too hard? You know, when they're young like that, they think they're invincible. Oh, hey, I'm home. I can conquer the world. Oops, not so fast. What's with this microphone tonight? Jesus. Come on. Did you notice I flipped it over? What I didn't realize is on top of the mic is an audio level. It shows me that my audio is okay, you know. It was on the bottom. Now the control knobs are on the bottom and the audio level little ziffle diffle is up top. Like it makes a big difference. That could be. That could possibly be because, you know, I'm sure when she was home, she was like, you know, stretched out on the couch or propped up in her bed. When you're in the car, you know, you're in that cramped seated position, and it probably was a little too much in the surgery area. Although, I don't know where her surgery area was, but a lot of times they tell you no driving, that's like when I had my last hernia surgery. The doctor told me, she goes, well, after maybe about 4 or 5 days, you can drive. I said, oh, good. Then she goes, what kind of vehicle do you have? I told her, I said, well, I got two. I said, I got a RAV4 and I got a Nissan pickup. She said, oh, okay. And she looked at me and she goes, are they automatics? I said, no. No driving for 2 weeks. I said, yeah. No, my hernia surgery was years ago. Trying to think when it was. When the hell did I have that goddamn hernia surgery? Oh, it's got to be 10 years ago. No, that was the first one. That was the first one, Tim. The second one was, I want to say, maybe 05. I'm going to have to look. Yeah, the first one was in the 80s. That was the nasty one. Holy shit. That doctor sliced me open like a goddamn carp. The second one, gee, she made like a 2-inch incision. It was amazing. And the second hernia was just as bad as the first one. But yeah, she made like a 2-inch incision, fixed me right up, and then glued me together. Because when they took the bandage off, I was like, holy shit, where's the stitches? You're super glued. Yeah. It'll hold. We use it all the time. Yeah, surgical super glue. I never knew there was such a thing. Yeah, they have surgical super glue. Did you ever read on regular super glue where it says don't glue your fingers together? Well, it's basically a sterilized version of regular fucking super glue that you buy at the hardware store. It's just super sterilized. Same shit. They put the super glue on and they hold it shut for maybe 2 minutes and put a bandage on you. Right, there you go. This microphone's right in the way of my chat. I must have missed something somewhere. I'm having a hard time. I changed the damn font in the chat. Now it's driving me crazy. Because the microphone, I can only move it so far. Oh, that's too far away. I'm I'm going to have to adjust this mic again tomorrow. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. They said it's a super sterilized version of regular super glue that you buy at any store. And the doctor said in an emergency, you can actually close a wound with regular super glue. Long as the wound is clean, yeah. They said, clean it with alcohol or iodine. I don't even know if you can get iodine anymore. Yeah, they tell hikers and campers and, yeah, buy super glue. Now, if you got a gash that's, 12 inches long, it ain't going to work. But, yeah, it's... I don't know how they ever came up with the idea that you could use super glue to close wounds, but it's crazy. Because I looked down at that incision, I was like, wait a minute, no stitches, no staples, wait a minute. You're safe, don't... Then they told me super glue. As a matter of fact, the surgeon actually brought some in. Of course, it's, what the hell is it? Cyanoacrylate or something, the chemical name. Yeah, it says ultra sterilized cyanoacrylate or whatever the fucking... And then it says for surgical use only. Had she not brought the fucking tube in, well, surgical super glue's in a syringe, not in a metal tube like you buy at the hardware store, but same shit. It's like liquid skin, but it's super glue. Liquid skin is a real modified, like a weaker version, because it's made, liquid skin for cuts. But if you get a pretty good gash, they tell you, carry super glue with you. I'm giving up on trying to follow the chat. I'm missing out somewhere on what's going on. Where'd you disappear to, Kathy? Are you hiding backstage somewhere? The goddamn chat is moving too fast. I missed what you said, Sherry. Retype it for me, please. That's one thing you can't do. You can't back the goddamn chat up when you miss something. Yeah, people don't believe it when you tell them they use super glue in the goddamn operating room. Yeah, Kathy. That's part of the problem that you run into. Hey guys, there's a million people on goddamn YouTube that are probably broadcasting right now. Why don't you jump into one of their chats and irritate the shit out of them? Yeah, they really don't like using staples unless they have to. It's a quick way of closing up a wound. See, I'm trying to think. When I had my carpal, I think he closed it with super glue, but I wasn't paying that much attention to it. No, he put stitches in. Because I remember I had to go get the damn things out, and he took them out too early on the one hand, and then the damn thing opened up, and I had to go back to him and say, "Hey." I'm trying to think what the hell his name was. Because I had both of them done at Lakewood. No, that had nothing to do with it, Tim. I had some spammers in here giving me a hard time. They had nothing better to do than come in and irritate the shit out of me. I told them, you know, there's probably 100,000 people broadcasting on YouTube right now. Go find somebody that's on and jump in and irritate them. I didn't think I recognized any of those names. Yeah, because head wounds bleed the most. So they want to close them up real quick. I know one day I whacked my head at the hospital. They put a couple of staples in. I told the doctor, I don't want staples. He goes, well, we got to close this up right away. Because you've got so many blood vessels that are close to the skin on the top of your head. You bleed like a stuck pig. That's why, like in auto accidents, if somebody bangs their head, they come out, they look like something out of a horror movie. Yeah, very seldom will they stitch. They'll they'll bring out the old stapler. There you go. Yeah, Cat, what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to give you a wrench. I appreciate that. They were irritating the shit out of me. Just a couple of idiots that had nothing better to do. I think I have to go in on YouTube. I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to pop you a wrench. That way you can do it with no problem. Because with Nomad being, kind of out of the picture for a while, I need another wrench. You don't want a wrench? Why not? It would look cool after your name. I won't give you one if you don't want one. And what the hell happened to your furnace? I'll tell you, that is one thing. I don't care what the goddamn guy charges. Every fall, I have him come in and go through it top to bottom. Because the last thing I want to wake up freezing my fucking ass off one day and the furnace not working. Yeah, well, that's the problem. Nothing's cheap anymore. My neighbor needed her washer fixed. Well, that sounds like an igniter. Actually, an igniter is easy to change. But unfortunately, you don't have anybody around, do you, that... I've changed igniters. 90% of the time, that's the problem. The igniter. And an igniter isn't expensive. You buy them off of eBay. All you got to do is know the model and serial number of your furnace and go on eBay. But you got to know for sure if it's the igniter. You need somebody to diagnose it for you. But 99% of the time, if a furnace won't light, it's the igniter. There's so much electronic shit on these. Yeah, well, if the igniter isn't working, it won't click that relay to turn the gas on. They build in these safety features. The problem is, it's not like in the old days you could kind of bypass shit. And you probably... Do you have a rough idea how old the furnace is? Because if your furnace has a pilot light... Oh, then shut it off. If you smell gas, there's a gas valve on the furnace. Turn the gas off. You don't want no goddamn explosion. See, if it's a furnace with a pilot light, a lot of time it's, oh, what the hell is that? Hey, Wyatt, buddy, how are you doing? If your furnace is that old, Sherry, it might be the damn thermocouple, too. See, you're probably smelling gas from the pilot light. Yeah, well... Yeah, because you're not calling for heat. So yeah, it shut the pilot down. Yeah, you're gonna have to, unfortunately, you're gonna have to get somebody. Hey, Wyatt, if you're having problems, you don't have to stay. We're just glad to see you pop in, just to make sure you're doing okay. That's okay, buddy. We appreciate you coming in. At least it takes a load off our mind as to how everybody's doing. Like yesterday, Jenny popped in and she had to pop back out. That's all. Pop in and say hi. Yeah. The wonders of the internet. Here we are in 2025 and we still can't get decent internet. Well, that could be a possibility. Maybe the wind blew the pilot light out. But you got to shut the gas off first to make sure everything is fresh, clean air. Then you turn the pilot light on and you can go in there with, one of them long barbecue lighters. But it could be a possibility. Either that, two possibilities. The wind blew the pilot light out, or your thermocouple went bad. Yeah, why? Hang around. If you got shitty service, we'll understand. It's like I say, it's amazing. Here we are in 2025. There shouldn't be internet problems. But everybody has them. That's why I took advantage of a deal Spectrum gave me and I got all brand new equipment. That could be another thing. When you get to a certain point, they limit your data. Yeah, goddamn cell phone companies are a pain in the ass. But I'll tell you what, the best thing I ever did, I went with 1 gig service with Spectrum. I got all brand new equipment, and it's fantastic. I'm running, 3, 4 computers, 2, 3 TVs. You know, I use, if I've got to do a transaction like that, I use Cash App. It's a very trusted money service. And Cash App sends you get a card so you can use it like a debit card too. If you got money in your Cash App, they send you a debit card. Well, I'll tell you what. AT&T, first of all, they were charging me a gazillion dollars. And then I moved 8 houses. Now I had 1 gig service with AT&T. Or I had their fiber optic service. I moved 8 houses. I couldn't get fiber optic because the neighborhood down here isn't wired for it. So I went with Spectrum. Outstanding. Well, here was part of the thing. I had both of my phones with consumer. In order to get the bargain deal on my 1 gig service, I had to give them one of my cell phones. I had to take their free service for a year. It's free. I don't care. But I told them at the end of the year, I'm going back to consumer. Because they can't give me the deal. I'm getting what's, I only pay $20 a line. Unlimited talk, text. I don't use data. I can't remember how much data you get. So, at the end of the year, yeah, right now on my main phone, I've got consumer, or not consumer, I got Spectrum. To me, I don't notice a difference in the phone service, but I like consumer cellular. $20 a month, unlimited talk, unlimited text. I can't remember how much data you get, but I don't use fucking data. And I'll tell you what, anybody can get consumer. Everybody thinks it's strictly for seniors. Anybody. For $20 a month? So as soon as this 1 year is up, I'm going back to consumer. But that was part of the thing. Oh, well, we need to give you cell phone service. Well, all right. I'll give you one of my 2 phones. For free? Okay. I've been with consumer probably 10 years. Never a problem. Never a drop call. Nothing. Now, so far, I don't make that many phone calls or send that many texts, so Spectrum is working okay so far, but at the end of the year, I told them, I already warned them, I'm going back to consumer. All right, Boost is, I'm trying to think, who's their parent company? Oh, Wyatt, I'll tell you what. Outstanding service. And for 20 bucks a month? I've been with them 10 years. I've had outstanding service. And their customer service is, top notch. Everybody thinks, it's for seniors. No, anybody can sign up with Consumer Cellular. Yeah, give them a call in the morning, Wyatt. You'll be surprised. They got outstanding service. And I believe they're in all 50 states. And like I say, 20 bucks a month, unlimited talk, unlimited text. I forget how much data you get with the 20 bucks a month, but I don't use data, so I really don't care. Metro PCS, that could be. I've never had either, so. I started out with AT&T, and when they got so goddamn expensive, I went to consumer. I was paying like 75 bucks a month with AT&T for one goddamn line. I went with consumer, $20. And I've never had a problem. Never. No matter where I'm at. Always got a good signal. No drop calls, nothing. Yeah, give them a call. You'll be surprised. If they're in your area, which I believe they're in all 50 states, you should have no problem getting signed up with them. And like I say, $20 a month. Like I said, I wish I could remember how much data you get for $20, but I don't use it. And I don't send that many texts. I don't make that many phone calls. But I'll tell you what, anytime I've needed to either call or text, no problem. You got a pencil and a piece of paper, will you? I'll give you their phone number. I don't know what AT&T's got going. I don't even pay attention to them anymore. Let me know when you're ready, Wyatt. I'll give you the phone number. Well, I'll tell you what, when I had Well, explain that to them. Are you ready for the number? All right. It's 888 345 5510. It's only a phone call. What do you got to lose? But I've been extremely satisfied with them. And like I say, their customer service is 10 out of 10. They're great. Best thing I ever did. Did you get it? You need it again. 888 345 5510. I think you'll be happy with them. And you can, you can explain to them, I use a lot of data, and they'll say, okay, well, you're okay, or you might need a bump. But even if you need extra data, it's only going to be a couple extra dollars. Their pricing is really reasonable. I think 1 month when my internet went out, I was watching and using a lot of data, and I went way over. And I think it was only $5 extra a month. And I mean, I went way over because my internet was out for 3 straight days. And I'll tell you another thing about Spectrum. My internet was out 3 days. I called them and I said, hey, I want 3 days worth of credit on my bill. And the girl said, how about 7? What? Yes, we'll give you 7 days credit just for your aggravation. I said, works for me. And it was on my bill the next month, 7 days credit deducted from my bill. You can't beat it. You really can't. And like I say, outstanding service. No matter where I've ever gone, I've always had a great signal, never dropped a call, nothing. I don't know how they do it. Probably volume. Because soon as people realize, every time you see an ad for consumer cellular, it's always a bunch of seniors. So everybody gets the impression, oh, it's only for seniors. No. Anybody can sign up with them. They're an alternate cell phone service. Kathy, I couldn't believe it. After my service had gotten restored, I called them and I said, hey, I've been out 3 days without any service. I want 3 days worth of credit. And the girl come back and said, how's 7? 7? And they did. It was on the bill. 7 days, they took the 30-day month. They figured out what it was per day. 7 days, deducted from the bill. No questions asked. I don't know. I didn't have any problem. I called them. I said, hey, my contract is up with AT&T. I don't want to renew. I want to sign up with you. They took my information. They said, okay, we're going to send you a SIM card. As soon as you get your SIM card, call us. We'll walk you through it. I've been with them ever since. You got to remember, Kathy, 54 is what they, like the new 34. They're saying 70 is the new 50. I wish my body felt like 50. Me and my pain management doctor. I'll tell you what, I've never used a mean word with him, but boy, they're going to come out of my mouth my next appointment. I'm not happy about this this cutting my medication, and he didn't cut it that much, but boy, I'm feeling it. My quality of life is not what it was a month ago. And him and I are going to have some words. He's going to hear things come out of my mouth he's never heard before. And I like him. Of course, he's only doing like he's told. I can't yell at him too much. Because he's been fighting for me for a long time. In 2019, they told him to cut my medication. And he's been arguing for me constantly. And then he finally had to start cutting it back. And it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. I'm hearing something strange again. Hang on a minute. Everybody bear with me. God, people are nuts. 8 o'clock at night, and the idiot running a chainsaw down. Now my headphones are cutting in and out. But ain't one thing, it's another. God, Sherry, you're making me feel real goddamn old. You were what? Your early 30s when I met you at the hospital? 54. I wish I was 54 again. November, I'm going to be 74. Holy shit. Another year, I'll be 3/4 of a century old. That's scary. Yeah, they say anything like, 40, 50 years old is an antique. I guess I'm an antique. Oh, Jesus Christ. Now you're making me feel old, Timmy. Considering I held you at 7 days old. Yeah, 7 days old. Your mother you want to hold him? What if I drop him on the head? Will he break? She went, give me that kid back. Hey, Kathy, Timmy lived right next door to me. I knew matter of fact, his mother and I played together as kids. And when he was born, 7 days, I was holding him. He's a little big now to be held. 52? I didn't think you were that much. God, you're 12 years older than Dale. I didn't know that. God damn it. How old is Timmy? I didn't think you were that much old. God damn, you're 12 years older than Dale is. He just turned 40 on the 5th. God damn, do I feel fucking old now. Jesus Christ. $22. Holy shit. The last time I saw him, he was like 8, 9 years old. 22. I'll be damned. Wow. Yeah, Kathy, I've seen all the generations. Timmy, when he was just born, although I didn't. Well, yeah, I knew Scott's oldest was almost 30. God damn. Boy, am I out of touch. Holy shit. I think the first time I saw Timmy was like 5 years old. Because I wasn't around when he was born. 22 and Scott's oldest is 29. Jeez. Unbelievable. God damn. Boy, that makes me feel old. Really? Well, good. Then he can start to feel old. Unbelievable. Man, time flies. Holy shit. Unbelievable. right, Wyatt. Let me know how you make out with Consumer. I hope you can get hooked up with them. It'd be a good deal for you. Have a good dinner. Yeah, one way or another, just if you got shitty service, pop in anyway. Say hi. Hi, bye. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's what happens. The sign of old age. Your brown hair turns white or gray. I finally found out why this damn section comes in dark brown. Right there in the middle of my chin. It's from when I had a chemical burn. My doctor finally told me I had a chemical burn down here on my chin, and for some reason that little section comes in dark. Well, we got to get that Camaro fixed. I want to take it for a ride. Maybe one day we can get the Camaro side by side somewhere. Yeah, I'll tell you a good one, Kathy. I was going to a wedding, okay? And I had a real short chin beard, like so. Well, we'll see about that, Tim. I could make yours go pretty fast. So I didn't like the gray. So I got some just for men. And I followed the directions, and it looked great. And then about 2 days later, I'm like, why is my chin so fucking gooey? I go in, I rinse it, dry it. Yeah, gooey. It's like something ain't right here. So I had my doctor take a look at it. I said, what's going on here? He said, what did you use on your beard? I said, just for men. He says, well, you got a chemical burn from that stuff. I had to shave my goddamn chin. Had to put this goofy cream on it 4 or 5 times a day until it healed. And now it's the hair comes in brown right there in that one spot. And my it's super sensitive. If I don't have a beard, I'll get a goddamn sunburn right there on my chin. So I tell anybody, don't use none of that goddamn hair dye. Yeah, I got a goddamn chemical burn from the shit. Yeah, I couldn't understand why, my chin was all gooey. I was like, what the hell? So I said to the doctor, what's going on here? He said, well, shave your face and come back and see me. All right. And he said, yep, you're all chemical burned. I had to buy this, spent a goddamn prescription was like $35 for this little dinky tube of shit. It healed, but it's still, to this day, if I don't have any hair on my face, it'll sunburn right there and blister. I wrote Just for Men. I says, you know, I should send you my medical bills. They were like, we're not responsible. You didn't follow the directions. I said, yes, I did. Of course, it just says, you know, comb it through. I didn't take it and go, poof. They give you a little comb. Yeah. That's all I did. Never again. I had an interesting day up at the store. There's one cashier. I don't talk to her that much. She's a cute little blonde. So today there was nobody in her line. So I decided to. And she had this long face like she didn't have a friend in the world. I says to her, I said, come on, smile. I don't feel like it. I said, what's the matter? My boyfriend dumped me. I said, well, if I had some time to talk, I'd tell you a few things. As she's handing me a receipt, she goes, I go on break in 5 minutes. I says, okay, I'll be in that shitbox in the parking lot. You can't miss it. There'll be a pile of rust underneath it. So I see her come out the door. We walk down the end of the building. I give her a little pep talk. I said, don't rely on men. We're assholes. I said, if he dumped you, it wasn't worth it. You'll get over it. I said, it's obvious he didn't care much about you if he dumped you. Agreed? Well, yeah, I guess so. I said, you don't need to get in any relationships. Enjoy life right now. I said, because someday you'll be this old. So, forget about him. Delete his phone number. Block him on Faceplant. Block him on Instant Green Cracker. And whatever. TalkTick. Forget him. X him out of your life. Done. But I says, I'm going to check on you now. Okay. At least she had a smile on her face when her break was over. Yeah, she looked at me when I said, men are assholes. I said, well, it's obvious he dumped your ass, right? He's an asshole, right? Yeah, I guess so. What an idiot. If I was her age, believe me, I'd have been on one knee proposing. Oh, we don't want to hear that shit. Oh, I can't believe that came out of my mouth. God damn. Grumpy, wake up. Wasn't 4 divorces enough? Can't believe I said that. So I made her day. I made her laugh. Guy must have been a real asshole. Although, yeah, I'm not around her when she's not at work. She could be Godzilla for all I know, yeah. Grumpy the therapist. I have to get business cards printed. Therapy by Grumpy. Yeah, Kathy, I'm still thinking about those two assholes that came in here. I was looking at the names like, who are they? Then they started with the shit. I was trying to ignore them. They were really irritating the shit out of me. Had nothing better to do to come in and troll me. God, I'm pissed off about that. I hope their internet goes down permanently. Idiots. Yeah, you learned the hard way, Timmy. Unfortunately, you got a whack ball. We all end up with a whack ball sooner or later. Oh, Timmy told me some horror stories. When I met her, I was like, oh, these two are perfect for one another. It was like the couple made in heaven. Then, then Timmy told me what she was really like. Godzilla. Hard to believe, but I didn't know her. You know, I only met her 3, 4 times, but I mean, she was always sweet to me. But I really thought, Timmy did a good job here. And then once you get over it, of course, it took me 4 times to get over it. Like, hey, stay away from, Yeah, I couldn't believe the look on my shrink's face when I said to him, he said to me, "Are you married?" No. Oh, divorced, huh? Yeah. 4 times, Doc. What? Can't you count? I said 4 times. Really? We're going to have to talk about this. Okay. Get a bigger office and a couch. He just kind of leaned back on the chair and went, really? Hasn't anybody ever 4 times? No. Oh, then I got some interesting stories to tell you, Doc. Get a notebook, a couple of big pens. You're going to have a lot of writing. Of course, they don't write now. They type everything. He'll wear out the fucking keyboard with me. Oh, man, I need a new keyboard. His goddamn hard drive will overload and explode. Whoa. Yeah, but see, Timmy, you know why it's going so well? You're not married. Marriage ruins a good friendship. It really does. You've been doing great for 6 years. There's no law that says you got to get married. Take it from someone. Marriage ruined good friendships with three. The fourth one, ugh, we don't want to think about that one. Yeah, absence makes the heart grow fonder, and so does 40 miles or whatever it is. Yeah, Akron's about what, 35 miles? Maybe 30. Been a while since I've been down there. I used to take 77 to 18 and then 18 through the center of town. Stop and get me a Swenson's burger. Oh, I love Swenson's. Oh, ho, ho. That's why I always went down 18. Anytime I had to go into Akron, I went down 18. Swenson's, and then I can't remember that grocery store that's right down the street from Swenson's. Man, they got some neat shit in that place. I wish I could remember the name of that grocery place. It's past Swenson's if you're going down 18 into Akron. No, not Acme. Even if they're still there. God, I haven't been in that place in probably 20 years. But it was neat. Oh, God, they had shit from all over the world in that store. It's on the same side of the street as Swenson's. You go past Swenson's, and there may be like a quarter mile down on the left side. I guess I'm going to have to take a ride into Akron sometime. See if they're still there. And get me a Swenson's burger, too. I would pull in, get me a couple of burgers, fries, and a drink, and then get some burgers to take home. Good old Swenson's burgers. Mm-mm-mm. As much as I hated going to Akron, that made the trip to Akron worth it. Right down 77, get off at 18, take 18 down. Really? Oh, man. Then I know roughly right where you're at then. So how do you come home from there? 18 to 77 and then 77 home? Or do you take 18 all the way to 71 and come up 71? Either way. Good old Swenson's. Oh my God. Oh, I'll never forget the first time I had a burger there. Everybody is, oh, you got to stop at Swenson's. You got to stop at Swenson's. I pulled in. I got a burger and fries. Finished the burger. Ordered another one. Because I think they have car hops. At least they did back in the day. Oh man, I gotta go to Akron. I don't think the shitbox will make it there and back, but got to get me a Swenson's burger. I used to go into Rocky River and get Bearden's. I thought Bearden's kicked ass until I had Swenson's. I was like, oh man, Swenson's. Bearden's doesn't even come close. They still got the car hops? Oh, yeah. I flash my headlights, a girl come out. Would you like dessert? No. I'll have another burger and give me 2 to go. I'll microwave them later. Yeah, I used to get 2 with everything. Order fries. Then get 2 with everything and an order of fries to take home. And microwave. Make a pig out of myself with goddamn Swenson burgers. There is? Since when? I haven't been down that way in ages. Next to Arby's? Really? I used to go down there quite a bit because I used to go to B.A. Sweeties because B.A. Sweeties is the only place you can get Dad's root beer anymore. Oh, shit. Now I don't have to drive to Akron. I'll just get on Brook Park Road. Because I hate Ridge Park Square. Oh, God, you can't get in, you can't get out. Yeah, shit. That's like a 15-minute drive. I'm glad we got on the subject of Swenson's. Now I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I can go to B.A. Sweeties, get me 6 or 12 Dad's root beers, and then stop at Swenson's. Order 4 burgers and 2 fries and bring them home. Cool. I didn't know that. Because I know right where Arby's is. How did I miss that? How the hell could Swenson's open up a burger place in Cleveland and me not know about it? Boy, am I out of touch. I guess that because I don't watch the local news. I'll never forget, it was shortly before Julie passed. I'm sitting in the living room and she turns the news on. I said, who are those people? She goes, they're newscasters. I didn't recognize anybody. Everybody retired. Yeah, I have to go to the goddamn craft shop one of these days at Ridge Park Square anyway. I can never remember the name of the joint. God, I miss Pat Catan's. right up on Berea Road. Then they sold out to that jerkwater outfit in Ridge Park Square. I can always come in the back way off of Brook Park. Cool, that's good to know. Now it gives me an excuse to go to B.A. Sweeties. Get my dad's root beer, maybe some candy, over to Swenson's, and then home. Works for me. More money spent. Yeah, I don't understand why. You used to be able to buy Dad's root beer everywhere. Then all of a sudden, gone. The only place you can get it is B.A. Sweeties. So I know they still make it. Oh, you know, that was the worst thing that his son did. The old man died. He left the business to his son. His son didn't want to be fucking bothered. So he sold it to, I can't remember that goddamn crap store at Ridge Park. He no sooner sold it, and he got seller's remorse. And he said, oh, it was the worst thing I ever did selling that business. Yeah, asshole. They had everything. I know right where, yeah, I know right the exact exit. But see, I don't have to go there no more. Well, I'd like to go to, if that grocery store is still there. Yeah, Kathy Michaels. What a jerkwater outfit that is. Goddamn, so expensive. Yeah, the kid sold out to Michaels. And originally, Michaels was supposed to keep the store open on Berea Road. And then, of course, you know, the goddamn accountants got to get their noses in things, and they went, well, this store really isn't producing. And then when the kid found out they were closing the store, and all the loyal employees were being put out of jobs because Michaels didn't take any of them, then the kid was like, oh boy, did I make a mistake. Yes, you did. Because the kid never thought to say, hey, my employees have been loyal to me, they deserve a job. They made all the employees apply, and I found out they didn't hire any of them. Oh, I miss that store. Oh, God. And I hate to go to Michael's. For one, the price. And for two, I hate where they're located. Ridge Park Square. God damn, you can't get in the place. You can't get out of the place. Yeah, indoor storage. Big deal. Goddamn Berea Road, that's all it is. There used to be that big heavy equipment, construction equipment place, and then, well, what the hell was that lighting company? They built that big fucking warehouse. Oh, I can't remember the name of that lighting company. God shit, and I bought so many light fixtures from them. It's like a ghost town over there. The only thing that is surviving is the porn shop on the corner. That's the only business that's still surviving over there is a goddamn porn movie shop. Hinckley, right. Hinckley Fixtures. They built that big fucking warehouse, and then they moved their operation down south. So you got the ghost town of nothing but indoor storage places. And then you get to the traffic light at the corner of Lakewood Heights and Berea Road, and what's still surviving after 50 years? The porn movie place. I guess there's still a market for porn movies. The online ones didn't put them out of business. Yeah, Doug's Auto Body. As a matter of fact, the paint booth is still back in the back of the building. Yeah, you got the porn movies in the front and a body shop paint booth in the back. Doug should have never sold that business. But neither him nor his wife could manage money, unfortunately. There's a thing that's called pay your suppliers and your employees first before you take your paycheck. You don't take your paycheck first, then pay the employees and go, oh, gee, there's not enough money left to pay the suppliers now. Oops. Nah, I haven't heard from him in goddamn 10, 15 years. Supposedly, Doug lives up like 148th off of Brook Park somewhere. Back where the, somewhere around the highway patrol station. I haven't seen him in ages either. I ran into him about 5 years ago at Home Depot. Yeah, so did I. That's why I say I don't know. I don't even know it's still around. They were two great guys, too, the two brothers. They were just two great guys. And Dave was crazy. On the verge of insanity. Yeah, the big C hits us all, man. Yeah, I knew he was up there somewhere. Did he really? I didn't know that. Well, you got a damn good paint job because I'll tell you what, that guy could lay paint. He could lay paint like glass. I bet you buffed out that car still shines like a brand new penny. That's one thing he knew. He knew how to lay paint down, man. Both of them, Dave and Doug. Man, I'll tell you what, they had a knack for laying down paint on cars. They really did. They could paint with their eyes closed. I'll tell you what, in all the years that I managed a body shop, I never once had a paint job come back with a complaint. Never. People were amazed by what their cars looked like when they were done. They were like, wow. I said, yeah, I got some good painters here. I'll tell you what, that's an art. That is an art. I tried my hands at it. I couldn't do it. My paint jobs turned out looked like somebody did it with a roller. You ever decide to buff out your Camaro? I got some neat buffers. Easy to use too. I think I got a bunch of spare bonnets too. I'll have to look. I haven't touched them things in ages, although I ain't got nothing to buff out. I was going to detail a silver Impala, but that never happened. Yeah, I think I got three. Yeah, I got three buffers. They've just been sitting collecting dust. Still in the boxes. You hiding in the background, Kathy? Or you doze off? All this talk about cars and stuff. Probably boring as shit. Matter of fact, one of these days I gotta call the highway patrol too. Oh, I'll tell you what. I miss that car. Especially when I had them big wide white walls on it. That was when Mueller's was still in business. I said to Dean, I said, I want wide whites. He looked at me like, what? You're the wrong color. Just get them. That car, oh, that car was cool. That pearl white Eldo with the Continental wheel on the back and wide white walls. Looked like a pimp mobile. Grumpy the pimp. in his diesel Eldorado. I bought that car cheap because it had a diesel in it. It sat on the used car lot 6 months. Finally, I said to the used car manager, I says, hey, you want to get rid of that car? Oh, Vogues are crappy tires. They're garbage. Just because they got that fancy white wall and the gold in them, they don't last for shit. I was originally going to put Vogues on. And Dean told me, he said, you don't want them, they're garbage. He said, you won't get 12,000 miles out of them tires. You know why they're popular to me. Oh, they look cool as hell. Matter of fact, there's a guy right up by Mark's. He's got a Volvo station wagon with Vogues on it. Oh, Cooper's an excellent tire. I'll tell you what, I used to run Dunlops when they were made in the factory over in England. American Dunlops are crap. The problem is you can't get European Dunlops anymore. But I ran Dunlops on every one of my vehicles. Another good, super excellent tires at Kelly. Cooper's and Kelly. They're great tires if you can afford them. Me, I buy my tires online. Cheap Chinese import tires. If you notice, the shitbox has white walls. Everybody laughs at that goddamn thing. You got white walls on that truck? Yep. If I could have found white walls for the RAV4, I'd have put white walls on them. Oh, I'm trying to think. I've got two different sets of tires on the truck. I can't remember what they are. Because when I wanted white walls, they only had two of this brand and two of that brand. I said, I don't care, send them. Nowadays, it's hard to find white walls. Yeah, Kathy, it's a big joke. The shitbox with white walls. Goddamn Americans, you know, they thought the European look was great with black walls. They ruined it. Every goddamn American car that had white walls on it was cool looking. They said, oh, they weren't popular anymore. Bullshit. Yeah, the shitbox with white walls. Hey, I love them. Well, it's getting to be that time. I have hot Italian sausage for dinner tonight. I have to fry up my peppers and onions to go with my Italian sausage. Where's my stylus? I lost my stylus. All right, who stole the stylus? It's gone. Where'd the stylus go? Did it fall on the floor? Ah, it fell on the floor. Ow! Oh! Jesus. You can tell it's getting late in the evening. Drop the stylus, smack my head on the microphone. Hopefully that didn't sound too loud on the other end. Well, it's that time, peoples. We know where, right here, WDWL TV, 7 p.m. And with that, everybody have a wonderful rest of your evening. And we will meet again right here tomorrow night.